Amy Potter here with From the Earth Creative Healing Arts. I'm an intuitive Reiki master who loves to help people connect with earth and spirit through the heart. And one of those ways that I like to start my day with is with oracle card readings. And so this is a weekend energy update for the weekend of, I don't know, is it June 27th, 28th, 29th, maybe? And I'm very excited that I went out to Wild Roots Apothecary and got a new oracle deck, and it's filled with so much magic. It's called the Oracle of Rewilding, Pathways to Renewing Our Kinship with All Things by Sherry Selman and Alexandra Eldridge. So just breathing in this beautiful day, coming in to the moment, into the presence of your body, your breath. And what does this collective need to know today to live in their hearts, to create magic, to walk their soul's path? And how are we going to frame our weekend this weekend? So the first card is grace. What a beautiful image. So grace. The second card. Grace and courage. And lastly, what does this creative heart collective need to know to live in their hearts, to live in their magic, to live in connection with all things? And fledgling. Okay, so now for the fun part. Um, so just to start again, first card is grace. I hear the healing songs of divine madness. The messages, the keywords are messages, dreams, imagination, ecstasy, madness, and protection. Um, all the best people are mad. A quote from Alice in Wonderland's Alice in Wonderland. The last time we shared a common ancestor with birds was 350 million years ago. Birds are weird, almost otherworldly, sensitive, and responsive to birds are weird, yeah, almost otherworldly, sensitive and responsive to electromagnetic fields, detecting colors and smells we cannot see or sense. They experience the world in ways we cannot fathom. Their bones are hollow. Birds are literally made of air. Their very fragility seems to be the source of their agility and power. Fragility as the source, agility. Their fragility is the source of their agility. I love that. And yet they sing as we do. They talk to one another. They play, they love, they deceive, and they are intelligent, often loyal, social beings living among us everywhere. Their soaring flight and graceful descents gladden the heart and lift the soul, sometimes disquiet the spirit, and always stimulate the imagination. Birds remind us that there are much more to life than horizontal dimensions of impulses and anxieties we tend to inhabit, that our fate is always in motion, and that we make our way toward wisdom and transcendency by trespassing in the world of imagination. That's what I love teaching here, is that the world of the imagination is the world of inspiration and intuition. It's the truth. Our imagination is a portal to our own truth. Quite the contrary of the way we usually use the word. Let's see. This card this deck has very lengthy descriptions. So I am going to just go to the guidance here. When this card appears, leave space for grace to enter your life. This is a space that can be opened by meditation, focused pursuits, dreams, even a deep dive into what feels most crazy in your psyche. Even when cultivated, grace usually occurs spontaneously or synchronistically without any conscious effort on your part. Like the comings and goings of birdsong, the grace notes that touch us are often mysterious and unpredictable, never explained and never controlled, but we can allow ourselves and our concerns to fade into the background of consciousness, close our eyes, and listen. Yeah. I just wanted to see if there's anything else that wants to just come through in this reading. Yeah. Okay. So grace, finding grace this weekend. And the second card is courage. Fear, courage, eros, action, guardian, timing, heart, and penetration. Not sickness stains the brave, nor any dart, nor doubt of seen to come, but an adjourning heart. By Emily Dickinson. Courage is the quality that allows us to act and accept despite feeling afraid or anxious. So, having the courage to show grace, to live in grace. It often involves taking risks or facing challenges that sacrifice the safety of our comfort zones. This may mean rising up and facing adversity, or it may mean remaining open to the sudden piercing arrow of Eros that strikes the heart and changes everything. It always means feeling fully or only the closing of one's heart, as Emily Dickinson wrote, stain the brave. Acting forcefully without an awareness of all that is in one's heart is recklessness and also stains the brave. In this card, a little child, perhaps a little Cupid, resolutely draws a spear or arrow from her bag. The hugely winged rabbit with her as her protector, her guardian, and her guiding spirit. In Greek myths, rabbits were eager attendants of goddess of love, Aphrodite, whose son Cupid had a quiver of arrows that never missed their mark. Wounded by love, we yield bravely to forces that pierce us deeply and can also renew us. At the same time, Artemis, the mistress of wild things, goddess of the hunt, the wilderness, animals, and the moon, was also depicted with a bow and arrow. She too was closely connected with the swift and elusive rabbit. Never one to be bested by slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, Artemis took unerring aim to protect the integrity and purity of those unfended and at risk. So, since the arrows of the gods never miss, it would seem that only an unusually skillful archer can hit the bullseye, striking the mark at the center of passion and purity. The great winged rabbit guides this arrow to its destination. While unstoppable and prolific breeders, rabbits are also easy prey, sensitive and vulnerable. However, as fearful as they may be, they may still show themselves and prevail. This alchemy outshines both terror and cowardice. The two moonlight warriors in this card are guided by the fullness of the moon, knowing that the time to be brave is right now. Be brave to live. It takes bravery to live in the heart, to live in our vulnerability, to live in our grace. It's easy to let the ego take over and our fears take over, and it takes a lot more courage to remain soft and open and vulnerable and following the heart. So when this card appears, it's time to get ready, whether to pierce or to be pierced or to protect. You may only have one shot, so the timing of action is crucial. So staying close to the ground with an open heart. Stay close to the ground with an open heart. It may be time to stand up for what you know, to make a point, to hunt down the heart of the matter, or to put your own safety at risk to protect others who are vulnerable. Or you may be penetrated yourself, pierced to your depths by a new experience, insights, and especially passions. This card is an invitation to sacrifice ego defenses and to be brave. Rabbit is the guide and the guardian. Be willing to sacrifice your safety and still use your wits to outsmart your enemies. Protect life by living it while avoiding reckless endangerment. So the thing that really stands out here is living in our hearts. It's easier to shut down the heart because we feel to love openly and with vulnerability can feel dangerous, that we may get hurt. But really, what my guides are showing me is the energetic field of the heart is the protector. So when we shut down the heart, we really are making ourselves vulnerable, and not the kind of vulnerable that I'm talking about. Being vulnerable and open, and living in grace and connection with spirit, like that's the place of true protection and true strength. And it takes courage to live in the heart, and to show grace to others. And the last card is fledgling, and also like there is a vulnerability to starting something new, to being a fledgling. So we'll see what she has to say about this. Reborn, discovery, egg, independence, and new endeavors. Feet, what do I need you for when I have wings to fly? And that's a Frida Kahlo quote. In many creation myths, the whole world is hatched from a cosmic egg. Similarly, we brood ourselves into new life, giving our warmth and devotion to the deepest sources of our being. In this way, we are always being reborn, hatched anew, small and uncertain, like a novice or a fledgling bird that has acquired its feathers mend and is still learning to fly, but ready to test its wings. Good morning, Marcy. In this card, a religious novice and a fledgling bird are one and the same. Their azure wings and sky blue garments suggest clarity, peace, and a spiritual bent. And even the elixir of life, azure is the feminine power of the sky. For example, it's the color of the Virgin Mary and the Queen of the Heaven, and heavenly azure dragon of China. It was the color of the garb worn by the sacred Celtic druid poets or bards who carried on the living wisdom of that oral tradition. The medieval alchemist Thomas Vaughan even described the tincture that would be converted into silver or gold as having the color of a certain inexpressible azure, like the body of heaven on a clear day. In this card, the novice fledgling's veil has been parted, and they look outward with clarity and purpose, little feet firmly planted, ready to go. While the nest is too small to contain them any longer, the little black book of instruction can go with them as they transform themselves from novice into a full-fledged adult bearer of wisdom. And I just want to show you this card again. It's beautiful. Let's see. When this card appears, it may be time to step out of your comfort zones. This means being open to growing and being willing to make mistakes. While it's not easy to tumble down from one's aspiration, and you can get bruised and burned doing so, fledgling is a sine qua non of a consciously lived life. Although the journey ahead may be long and challenging, much can be achieved with time and practice. You may be starting out in a new field of study or a job or an artistic pursuit, a new relationship or another person, or a more spiritually oriented life. Leave your nest, hop around, trying out your wings, and then spread them in dedication and commitment to your chosen path. Some dependency has to be sacrificed, but the fulfillment that you are moving toward will provide its own guidance and support. So I'm just going to show you all three cards together. So we have the grace with all of the birds. So, and having the courage to live in your grace, and having the courage to be a fledgling, to be a novice, to start something new. So yeah, there's all three. Yeah, it feels very much about coming to this weekend with a fresh slate, and a fresh heart, and having the courage to just come back to the heart all the time, and follow your pursuits with oh gosh, as your pursuits as the bullseye and you are the arrow, following your passions, your heart, your dreams. And even if that means that you're just starting out this, but it's time to open the wings and fly. I love you today and every day. Thank you. Oh, weird, Mars. Huh. Lost sound. Well, I guess it's meant to be over. I love you today and every day, and have a beautiful weekend in the heart, in the courageous heart. And I will see you next week.